Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to another spectating, kind of like the top player of their champion. So today, we're watching this guy that is a Volibear player. Now why am I watching Volibear? I thought about it on stream the other day because someone was asking me, I think, like, what is the most underrated champion or like something that people don't think about. Honestly, I think Volibear is actually really good. And the weird thing with it, obviously, is he's getting a rework. You know, Fiddlesticks is getting a rework and he's getting a rework. Those are the next two. Every time that I see a Volibear, usually they get really strong. And yes, he has weaknesses. Obviously, his inherent weakness is he's a running champion. So he's kind of like an Udyr. He kind of falls into that category that if you can counter something just running at you, yeah, he's not that hard to beat. But if he can get on top of people, if you don't have ways to kind of stop him, he's pretty good. So what we're going to do today is watch this guy. I believe this guy's in Grandmaster or Master. He's a complete one-trick of Volibear. The best one-trick on EU West of Volibear. And yeah, we're going to just see what he does. And just have a little look of how strong we think Volibear is. Because I potentially think he is League's most underrated champion that people also don't think about. Because a lot of people go, oh yeah, Nivea is underrated or Vel'Koz is underrated. But people do kind of think about them. I honestly think like maybe 20% of you forgot Volibear even existed as a champion. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to check it out and see what this guy can muster. And I picked a game, by the way, that I don't think is a stomp. We did take some feedback recently in these episodes that, you know, stomps are always good to see when someone is snowballing, etc. But you don't learn everything from them. Like, yes, you can learn how to snowball, but a lot of your games aren't always going to be snowballs. So what we've done is go for a game that I think is around 33 minutes. Obviously, I know the outcome of the game, but it looked a lot closer than a stomp. So just a note, by the way, I believe the Volibear started E just for a bit of displacement, so he's not always getting attacked. And my knowledge of Volibear jungle, and again, I can't talk at this commentary like I'm an expert at the champion. I've played the champion, not too much. But I imagine you do not want your passive to get burnt in the jungle. I'd imagine you want to save your passive, which obviously when you get to a certain percentage of health, your health then regens a decent amount. I don't think you'd want to use that in the jungle. I think you'd want to save that for ganks where you're actually in combat versus enemy champions. But we'll see how this goes. So yeah, it's an EU West game, you know, Grandmaster, Master type rating, so everybody in the game should be pretty damn decent. You can see some weird things though, like the enemy has a Camille support. They've got an Echo top, which I guess isn't too bad when it's a Vladimir. You'll also notice that Vladimir's taken Doran's Ring. Again, that is more... It's happening a lot more. Meanwhile, First Blood does happen against Volibear's team. But yeah, so like Akali's run Doran's Ring now, first item, Vladimir's run Doran's Ring. It's just cost effectiveness, the health, the ability power. It's just the best thing to run at level 1. It's weird because yes, the mana's wasted, but it's the best thing to run cost effectiveness at level 1. So he's just going for a relative full clear. There is potentially a dive, by the way, which is kind of crazy. Volibear's going to come and see what he can do. He flips the Rek'Sai back into the tower a little bit. Draven's now tanking. Lucian's going to get one kill. Volibear gets another. Camille might make her way out, but I imagine Volibear might chase. But yeah, overall, kind of crazy situation. Weird dive, I'd say, by the enemy team, but it worked out okay. The red team has now actually taken the kill lead. Also worth noting that it is a Pantheon mid versus Zoe. Again, I was watching... I can't remember who I was watching last night. I was very tired, and I was just watching a LOL stream, and that streamer answered... Oh, it might have been a QtPie video, actually. And someone said, like, oh, how do you beat Pantheon in top? And QtPie laughed and he said, just play something ranged. I imagine that's true in mid lane, so I probably wouldn't play Pantheon mid. Like, maybe you could bully a Zoe if she gets close to you, but it's probably not a very good Zoe if she gets close to a Pantheon. So I don't know how that's going to go in mid lane. Obviously, Pantheon incredibly strong in the early game, especially if you stab. You don't throw your Q, you don't hold it, because that's very weak. Again, maybe Riot should buff it a little bit. But yeah, if you stab, you get close to people, his damage is actually decent. And this guy's gone Conquer a Pantheon, which obviously will offer a bit of scaling, so he won't completely... Well, he still will drop off. That's just how the champion works. But at least Conqueror would help him a bit more than, let's say, Electrocute in mid to late game. So the first thing that I've noticed with this Volibear is a lot of farming. You know, not too many ganks. He obviously did that only one gank so far when it was a tower dive that he could just kind of like run at and get a free kill. Other than that, he is just farming. He's probably trying to rush to 6. Now another gank. He flashes instantly, however. Vladimir's going to focus on living. He does get the kill as well. Potentially Volibear would have wanted that, but it's also good to give it to a Vladimir, and obviously Echo gets caught out. Echo did have flash up, by the way, But it was just too quick reaction time by the Volibear, and obviously, you know, goes without saying, the combo of Volibear is you press Q and then E at the same time, and that does bonus, I think, damage. So you definitely want to make sure you get that off when you're doing a gank if possible. Again, that's the thing, if possible. There's not always perfect situations when you're playing champions. There's a perfect idea of what you can do, but it's not always the situation that allows the perfect play. Again, we've said that before with Diana, that yes, your perfect combo is hit the Q and then you get your R reset, but you're not always going to be able to do that. The same goes for Volibear with his QE combo. So bot lane, by the way, Draven is quite considerably ahead of the Lucian. Again, Draven's obviously pressure is very high. He's gone PTA, not Conqueror, so that's more early game. Lucian, however, has also gone PTA because that's pretty much the only thing Lucian can do. And obviously Lucian is also a lane bully champion. But I guess the thing is that Braum is a relatively all-in support. Like, he doesn't offer too much if you're not going all-in. And in an all-in right now, the Camille is definitely going to be doing more damage than the Braum. So if the Camille and Draven are both attacking the Lucian, well then the Lucian really can't do that much. But boom, level 6 at 6 minutes 20 seconds. That's a pretty quick level 6. He is now looking for a gank. So let's see if he like changes what he wants to do. He's been farming. You can see right now he's, you know, a little bit ahead of the Rek'Sai. He is going for this gank. Camille in the bush. Good baiting so far. Ignite comes down. Volibear going to run. Rek'Sai is now behind. He is level 6, level advantage, but he just gets absolutely annihilated. So that right there, you have just witnessed the weakness of Volibear. He's a running champion. He has no like instant dash or a tunnel like Rek'Sai has. If he gets caught out, he's got nothing. That's Rek'Sai. That's Volibear, sorry. It's just, it's an outdated champion that, yes, I do think is underrated, but yeah. But Pantheon coming in, I think he wanted to get, obviously, that. Rek'Sai still coming in too. Makes a mistake going under tower. Don't think they're going to get much more. Oh, a nice Q, though, however, with the Q slow by the Pantheon charge Q, I believe. But Camille will get away, so overall not too bad. Both junglers die. He's already up, though, again, the Volibear. Again, Vladimir might have been doing a bit of farming. Volibear was like, nope, that's mine. But yeah, so again, you've seen the weakness, but what we want to see this game is, yes, the weakness is he runs at you. If you can CC him or just focus him as he's running and you kill him basically before he gets to you, there's not a whole lot you can do. That's why he's so reliant on flash, the same as Udyr. But I want to see in the instances that this Volibear is allowed to attack, is it good? Like, what I've always found with Volibear is that a lot of them just build full tank and they can kill stuff pretty easily. It's decent damage for something that builds full tank. So yeah, hopefully this game will be able to witness that. You know, if we're talking about team comp and scaling, both teams have a mixture. It's kind of weird. So Vladimir, obviously amazing late game champion, you know, not just in himself, can kill a lot of stuff. He also gives damage to his team. Not sure why Volibear is doing this, by the way. In a 2v1, gonna go for the kill. So as we mentioned, how much can he do? Gets killed. So that was very questionable. Obviously Pantheon in the chat being quite annoyed, and I'd say rightfully so. Yes, the Pantheon just died to a gank. Volibear, however, took, you know, he decided to go for that. And again, this is the best Volibear player on EU West, the highest one trick. So you'd think he'd know a lot about it. Obviously he does, but that, you know, mistakes still do happen even at this level. But yeah, so Vladimir amazing mid to late game. Echo, I'm not a massive fan of Echo, has to be said. I've never kind of been crazy scared of one, unless in lane phase it kind of goes nuts. Rek'Sai's pretty good in mid to late game. Zoe obviously pretty good in late game. Draven falls off. And Camille supports a bit of an outlier. I don't know, you know, is she going to get enough items? You know, Camille in late game's okay, I guess. And then, you know, the red team, Volibear is pretty good in late game if he can get on people. Pantheon drops off, Lucian drops off, Braum's pretty good. So this game is going to be kind of interesting because both teams have aspects that are really good in late game and aspects that fall off in late game. So yeah. So more farming. Oh, is he going to change his mind? Never. Yeah, so he's going to go in for this play. So Camille is, well, there's a 3-man. Braum's here, gets a nice ultimate. Volibear making his way downtown, gets the Rek'Sai, gets the QW combo. Draven ultimate comes through. Not doing a crazy amount. Zoe can try and make an escape. Pantheon comes in and misses his stab Q somehow. Pantheon, however, will die from the ignite. Draven in the backline. Lucian's found that guy. Volibear is going to run away. Vladimir's continuing. He probably should get the Camille, I would imagine, unless her E is going to get her away, which it does. Overall, oh, Echo's now coming in too. Vladimir gets caught out and dies. and that will be that. So that was roughly an even team fight, very messy, and again, for a very high rating game, it's rare to see this amount of kind of fiestery, but I guess that's a great summary for this season. Volibear going aggressive, gets 1 kill, gets 2 kills! This is what we're talking about, everybody. When Volibear is actually allowed to attack, he is actually very scary. There you go, triple kill, and I bet most of us wouldn't have imagined that triple kill was going to happen. So like I said, I think he's underrated. I have not watched this replay before, trust me, I promise. So that just happened, and I've said, I think he's underrated. And yes, he has weaknesses, but wow, when he's allowed to attack, when he's allowed to get on people, it's really hard to take care of a Volibear. Again, it's kind of like Udyr, I guess. They are overstaying a little bit. Volibear's going to continue for the fight, however, not sure if that's worth it. Definitely not now giving a Draven a kill. Volibear didn't need to go for that play. You know, Pantheon was around. I don't think Volibear may have known. The Draven would have died, and both of the enemies would have died anyway. So I don't think Volibear needed to go for that. That just gave Draven a pretty big shutdown. So again, mistakes are creeping in, but that's fine. Item build, by the way, is going Cinderhulk into a Glacial. So that would be probably a Righteous Glory if I had to guess. Because again, his weakness is running, and the quicker you are, in theory, of your engage, the harder it is the enemy to deal with that engage. So yeah, it's kind of a standard item, I would imagine. Because, you know, the other items, what, you could build a Frozen Heart or a Iceborne Gauntlet, I want to say. Again, it's a weird thing, like, thinking of items when you're not actually in-game yourself, but I'm pretty sure that's the way. Braum gets a kill on Zoe, does a roam. Obviously, Pantheon would have liked it, but a dead Zoe's a good one. And yeah, more farming is continuing. They also get Rek'Sai. Pantheon gets the kill that time, so overall, another nice play. A lot of deaths for a Grandmaster type game on EU West. Having, you know, 24 deaths at the 12-minute mark, is that, you know, 24 in total? That's quite a lot. Generally, the higher rating you go, the less deaths that actually occur overall. So this is a pretty heavy kill game, and I guess maybe we shouldn't be surprised there's a Draven in the game, there's a Zoe in the game, there's a Pantheon in the early game, there's a Lucian that's also designed to win lane. And by the way, look how the tables have turned. So bot lane was getting bullied quite heavily. Lucian does get killed, unfortunately, literally as I'm saying this. But Lucian has pulled it back. He was 5-1. They do get, I think, Tower Dove, surprisingly. So yeah. At least the Draven has died 4 times, though, which, again, shouldn't be too surprising, because Draven, very all-in champion, very easy to catch out, and Volibear has shown some presence in bot lane this game. So, single dragon coming in, again, fairly effective. Just to make it clear, he's ulting as well. He is maxing W, which is generally what you'll always do, because that gives you big damage output with attack speed. He's then maxing Q, which some people, I guess, might be surprised. I'm presuming it's a similar concept to Rammus. Rammus, you actually max your Q. Or at least good Rammuses do. Because the idea is the same as Orianna. A good Orianna maxes her Q. When you're in a champion that is so, you know, you need to have your mobility, or Orianna needs to have her board in the right place, you need to make that spell the priority for cooldown, and obviously with levels usually comes lower cooldown. So that's why Rammus will max his Q. That's why Volibear, yeah, his damage output's important, but he's going to max Q over E. Orianna, again, everything's about her ball positioning, so max the Q to make sure you can move the ball the most. So it's things like that that just kind of separate the good and bad players when it comes to champions. And I would even imagine that there's probably a Volibear out there that exists that max Q first. I'd easily guess that that exists. Probably isn't the right thing to do, but it probably does exist. Anyway. Interesting build coming out the Pantheon, by the way, in mid lane, if someone hasn't noticed it yet. He has gone Death Stance first item. I don't know if this is the build that this guy naturally does. Again, his damage output's pretty good. Zoe misses, and he will just get a 100-0 kill straight away. I don't know if this is the build that this Pantheon always does, but in actual relative terms, it's smart. Why? Again, what did we mention earlier? How do you beat Pantheon? A range matchup. So what counters range poke? Lifesteal. Get your health back up as quick as possible, and you're combining all the components that this Pantheon needs. Cooldown reduction, lifesteal against a ranged opponent. Meanwhile, a big play is happening in bot lane, by the way. Pantheon ulting, too late. Again, that ability still takes way too long. Vladimir is in base, gets the kill. Lucian picks it up. Camille counter-engaging, which is questionable. Echo's made it to the back line. Oh, lovely play by Volibear there. Don't make that a mistake. That was very good. He flipped the Echo out of his zone, so he couldn't stun. That was really good. Braum does take the kill, which is questionable, but they also will get that play. So that was a 5 It was a 4v4, I guess, but the top laner difference, because Echo did teleport, Vladimir didn't. Zoe is now getting herself caught, and she will die, so that is technically an ace without the Vladimir, so that's a very good situation for Red Team. And again, just to remind everybody, this game is somehow, we're only about halfway through this game, so something happens that this game doesn't end soon. You know, they're 10 kills ahead, they're, you know, 6,000 gold ahead, so you'd think in this rating, snowball would occur, the game would end. Possibly what could happen is Pantheon is very soon to falling off compared to the Zoe. Maybe he falls off, I don't know. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm also going to just take a drink. Again, sugar-free. What have I got? Pepsi Max? I know they're probably still not the healthiest thing for you, but they're a lot better than the sugar versions, I think. But yeah. Okay, so item build, Righteous Glory, as I predicted, and also worth noting, look at the farm difference between the junglers. Volibear is 40 farm above the Rek'Sai. That is considerable. That's a lot of gold. So if you look into the gold right now, Volibear is sitting on 7.8 thousand gold, which is nearly tied first place. Like, Lucian and Volibear are even, literally basically even. Draven is a tiny bit ahead. So overall, the Volibear is doing very well. He's running past a lot of minions. He's popping Righteous Glory. He's going to make his way into the fight. He eased both of them. So again, there's an example that he doesn't get the QE combo because he prioritizes Eing straight away. He's also being a good sport. He takes one kill. He's also then going to give his carry one kill because, you know, in theory, he doesn't really need them. You notice his next item is a Phage. I don't know what this is for. It could be for a Black Cleaver, I guess. You know, if he is confident that he's going to be able to auto-attack a lot, then Black Cleaver is quite useful for him and his team, because obviously it does give armor shred. It could be for other stuff, like it could be for a Triforce, I guess? Yeah, possibly. Triforce does definitely work for Volibear, but it's usually something I see from Volibear tops, not jungles, because it's a very expensive item. But yeah, it possibly could be a Triforce. Again, this Volibear is getting very strong, so he might be like, oh yes, Triforce is expensive, but I can afford it this game. So he's taxing a little bit, but he does leave it alone for the Pantheon. You can see the Pantheon's farm is quite low, as well as the Zoe's. That lane, I guess, has been a bit Fiesta-y, and maybe the Zoe's never laned against a Pantheon before. That could definitely be the issue there. And now, obviously, with the bot side open, both towers are down. The bot sides will swap over. Some people have asked this question before. Why do you do this? It's to maximize gold income. Because your bot lane is more likely to kill towers than anything else. So once they kill bot side, then they go top, and they're more likely to kill that tower than anyone else. And usually, obviously, your AD carries the person you want to put the gold on the most, so that's kind of why you do it. So again, really good play by Red Team. Again, pretty sure I didn't pick the wrong replay. So right now I am very confused how this game lasts. Oh, you know, how does this game even last another 5 minutes, let alone another like 12? No idea. Something very big must happen. Maybe they kind of, you know, possibly they overstay going for this inhibitor, and then the enemy team counter with a Baron or something. I really don't understand how this game doesn't like end soon. But again, that's why I like doing these episodes. Even in high rating, some things don't make sense. Which, yeah, is the human aspect of solo queue. So what I'd say, this Volibear has done very well, by the way. And obviously it has helped that his team's been doing good. But, you know, goes without saying, this Volibear has been involved in a lot of kills. Not as many as the Braum. The Braum right now is on 22 kills this Braum has been a part of in 27 kills of Red Team. That's very impressive by the Braum. That shows how much bot lane action there is in the meta right now. But the Volibear has been doing well as well. But he's been managing farming with staying relevant incredibly well. You'll notice he's never in a bush waiting for 30 seconds. He's always on the move, which again is something you'll notice the better junglers you watch. When you go down, and again, I again, not sponsored or anything, I watch a stream called Salty Timo. It highlights Iron 4 games from all different servers. A very common practice that you see in like low iron for junglers is they'll wait in a bush for 30 seconds, wait for a minute and be like, oh, this person's going to come back and I'm going to kill this person, and then they don't. Or yes, maybe they do eventually get that kill, but it's you've given a minute of waiting in a bush to make that happen. That's so long. So Volibear's going to go for this now. He's going for a 1v4, which is very questionable. So this does show the strength of Volibear. that he did kill the Draven in a 1v4 with also burning both the Draven summoners. So that does show quite a considerable amount of strength, but also it was a questionable play to begin with. So like we mentioned, how did this game not end in 5 minutes? Well, there's a throw just there. You know, 4 people on the red side just died. The enemy team just got a lot of gold, if we're honest, by, you know, the kill sprees. And, yeah, just throw after throw, kind of. Camille, obviously, support, by the way. Again, never seen this before. It's building tank, I guess, and it's going to be an engage tool and just hold things with the ultimate for Draven to hit it, I guess. And worth noting that, boom, there is, yes, Trinity Force Volibear, so he did end up going for it, which, again, is a very good item for Volibear. It's just very expensive. But this guy, with having a good game, farming well, he was just confident to get it. So yeah, pretty cool. Top lane, someone else is getting caught, but double stun. Echo does have ultimate, and they will probably give up now because he is too far away. Volibear returning to mid lane or going back to farm. There is a Scuttle Crab coming up in the bottom riverside very soon. Also worth noting, some people are like, where's the pen? You know, didn't you say you were going to do pens in this? I was gonna, but today it's technically my day off, even though I'm still recording. Volibear going for an engage, and like I mentioned, the weakness of Volibear, he didn't even get any damage off, and he got killed before he actually did anything. And so, yeah, another throw. So again, we're seeing the weakness of Volibear here. He's kind of outdated when it comes to just running. So what I'm hoping is that they will keep, with the rework, I'm hoping they're going to keep the aspect of Volibear that he is great when he actually can get to people and fight them and all that good stuff. I hope they make him less relevant, or I hope they make him less dependent on just running at things, because that is so easy to counter. You know, the enemy team doesn't, like the biggest counters to it, Morgana, Lux, or something like that, the enemy team doesn't even have the counter to Volibear. They're just killing him before he even can get to them. And that kind of just shows he is a little bit outdated. So this is why the game hasn't ended in the 5 minutes that we kind of like, how does this game end? Just a few throws, and now the Baron. So Pantheon is in the mix. Enemy team do kill him. Rek'Sai, who the jungler was, went out to go regen a bit, and they will end up killing the Baron. So there you go. There's a bit of a throw. I think what the red team needs to do is just start working together a bit more, because generally what seems to be happening, 1 or 2 people are getting caught, and then Volibear randomly goes in 1v2, 1v3, and then he gets killed before he actually can get to anything. The Volibear needs distraction. If there's a whole, you know, a Vladimir's with him, a Pantheon ult on top of him, a Braum ult's happening, then a Volibear can get to people. But without that, it's difficult. Worth also noting that the Pantheon, as you can see, his score has turned. He has now a negative KD, negative kills to deaths. That's just him falling off. So, again, whether you love Pantheon or not, it's great. Again, I like him more now that I know the stab type of thing. He still falls off completely. It's like a cliff. It's probably the biggest example in League of Legends history of a champion that falls off, which is fine if you snowball the early game. This Pantheon didn't really snowball the early game. Also, his farm is also now down on the Zoe. So really, the Pantheon is just going to be a distraction, and if he can get CC on an important target like Draven, that's a good thing. Also, TFT has definitely like got rid of my mind, because I just looked at those Draven items. I was like, oh, that's a stacked Draven. God damn it. But yeah, a reminder, everybody, if you do want TFT content and you're like, where did Huzz, you know, why aren't you uploading that anymore? I am. It's just on my second channel. It's linked down below. It's daily TFT content. I upload 1 game of TFT a day for as long as I've got spare time. So if you are interested in that, go check it out. It's called Huzzy Extra. You can just put it in the YouTube bar. It'll come up. And yeah, it's my ranked climb on TFT. Vladimir gets caught in the bot lane, unfortunately. That was a random Lucian W. And yeah, things have kind of unwinded a bit since the dominance, really, of red team is now kind of come to an end. So how would red team pull this back? Like I mentioned, if they just start working together, 5 people, big distraction, get a good Vladimir ultimate, get a Pantheon ult over the top that allows Volibear to get to someone important, then yeah, very possible they'll win this game. Enemy team do pick up a second dragon, so now they have dragon advantage. Echo's a little bit low, but, you know, big shield, so he has to be careful. And let's see what happens. So Vladimir's now respawned. Braum has ultimate available. Zoe's doing a bit of poke. They probably, red team don't want to get poked out too much, so they'll either back off, let them get the tier 2, or they will go for a full engage. They are pinging Vladimir to come help. He does get hit. Volibear gets drowsied. They might go for the engage here. Volibear getting completely chunked out. Volibear healing to keep him alive. Volibear goes down by the Rek'Sai, who is now, by the way, in their base. Don't think a lot of people noticed that, or they noticed too late. Fight's going to continue. Pantheon's going to probably pick up 1 kill. He does after the flash. Draven now in the base with the Zoe. Pantheon going to get hit by the sleep. No, he flashes over it. Draven flashes after the Pantheon. Zoe going for some plays, and not too much happens after that. So that is still a even fight, 2 for 2. But the enemy team still has priority with Baron buff that they can stay. Lucian does get 1 more kill though, which is good. But they will get priority on the cannon. Lucian has to flash out the Draven ultimate. He will survive. Pantheon in the mix in the back line. Echo ulting as well. Pantheon going to do as much as he can. Probably not much more. Draven gets the kill, and they will now also get the inhib. Pantheon will get that kill, though, with the Ignite, which is good. So again, this game is turning into a pretty interesting game, basically of which carry can probably carry more. And again, this is one of the first ever... I don't know, it's one of the first ever, spectating a really high rating player that we're watching, that the Volibear isn't the carry this game. The Lucian is the carry. The Vladimir is the carry. We're watching what he can do to help his carries. Now, he did great in the early game, but Volibear is not a carry champion. So what can he do as a tank bruiser type kind of hybrid? What can he do to help his team win? Because so many people say, can you play a tank to climb? You can, but you have to play in a certain way. And obviously, that it's still reliant on your carry being able to carry. If your AD carry runs into the whole enemy team, and you're like, I can't protect that, well, there's nothing you can do. But yeah, what can the Volibear do? Whether he gets in the way, that the enemy team have to attack him, which frees up his carries, or can he get to someone important and get the combo off them? And if you leave this Volibear on a Draven for a little while, not sure if you'd be able to kill him, because the Draven might out lifesteal the Volibear's damage, but it'll be a major distraction. Like, huge. Item build now, by the way, I presume he's going to go for a Randuin, if I, had to guess. Engage might come. Draven and... Oh, this is potentially really good. Camille going a bit too deep. Volibear going for the Draven. Gets to him, like we mentioned. So he gets to the Draven. That's the important thing. Fight continuing. Pantheon coming over the top. Rek'Sai is now going to come up with the GA. Volibear doing a little dance in his sleep. Rek'Sai trying to ult away. Does get the kill on Lucian. Very well played by Rek'Sai to get that return kill. And that will overall be good for Red Team. Would have been even better if Lucian survived. Volibear going to go back and farm, I guess. And they are going to try and catch the Zoe, which they will end up getting eventually. So that was very good by Volibear. That was also a mistake by Camille, by the way, and Draven, I guess. But yeah, what you just saw was the Volibear doing his job. Camille made a mistake. Draven mispositioning. He went all in to get that flip on the Draven. That's what he needs to do. In all that time, by the way, Echo stayed bot lane and split push. Again, Echo is a pretty effective split push because he's got great mobility, great escape in the end, pretty good wave clear, and very good tower damage with, obviously, a Lichbane build to kill a tower. He basically can 3-shot the thing. Volibear just trying to do some wave clear, which I don't know if you want him to do it. I guess he likes gold because he's not full items, but, not the most effective wave clear if he's not going to ult. And obviously he doesn't really want to ult, just to wave. So there are Baron pings, so the next Baron could be very important. There is Vision on Rek'Sai in the jungle. Volibear in the same position where the enemy team obviously just got caught. And Volibear is now hovering. You can see Vision on Rek'Sai because obviously all the minimap vision is what the red team sees. Camille being a bit aggressive, that to me would be like, are they doing the Baron or not? Not too much vision. Echo is probably, if I had to guess, going to return to the bot lane, by the way. Because why wouldn't he at this point? Pantheon going for a full engage. And they will decide to back off. Echo returned to bot side. So this makes things awkward. Engage coming by the enemy team. Volibear with a nice little counter with his E. Tower will go down because Echo can kill it so easily. And he can escape so easily. Now the red team has to be careful. They've got 2 people in the base, Lucian and Vladimir. Are they going to do Baron? Because now the blue team has number advantage near the Baron. So what we probably are looking for here is potentially a hero Baron steal. So again, this game... Okay, Camille gets a nice play here. There might be an opportunity. Nope, no opportunity to flash over. Really nice play by the Camille. Pantheon goes in, gets killed. Camille will go down, but she'll be overall happy with that. Her team gets Baron, and she facilitated. Volibear's staying still. He can't flash over while he's in my ultimate. So again, mistakes here and there. Lucian would also get caught himself somehow, so he dies, and this game is looking pretty rough. This game's pretty good. I don't know. Let me know, by the way, in the comments. Did you prefer this game so far? That it's a much closer game, that honestly, you guys don't know, I guess, who's going to win. Right now, blue team is probably going to win. Or do you prefer the stomps? Let me know which one you want me to continue with, and we'll do that. Rek'Sai going to go all in. Volibear probably going to flip him onto the God Tower. And they will. He's going to heal a little bit. He does pick up his item as well. Vladimir gets that kill. Enemy team looking to do as much hyper aggression at right now. Engage coming potentially by Volibear. He does get the E. He's going to go for the Draven. This will facilitate the Vladimir to come in. Draven flashes over the wall. They get one kill. Vlad is not going to go chase. Echo doing a lot of damage. Volibear flips him so he couldn't kill the Braum. And they will get a couple kills there. So that's a nice little return. But what can red team now do? Can they go stop the Draven going on the Dragon? They were envisioned for a second there. The enemy team knows they're coming. Can Draven do it enough, or is he going to just run away? So he was doing it. He's now going to run away. He also killed the Scuttle Crab. So this will be a nice mountain for red team. Pantheon getting caught. He is going to use his damage reduction from that direction so he doesn't get killed. Volibear just going to go all in for the Draven. As we mentioned, the running style is a little bit on the weak side. Pantheon does like flash in though. Draven gets the kill. Probably a double kill. Is a double kill. And boom. As again, highlighted the weakness of Volibear. He just took way too much damage while getting to the thingy. So Vladimir, sneaky. This isn't going to kill the Draven though, because wow, it will kill the Draven. What surprised me in that thing, the Draven was doing a smart thing that he was going to go over to the Dragon to lifesteal. Again, the Vladimir's in late game, so I guess I underestimated the guy's damage. It's really high right now. Camille going for a play, trying to get the combo, doesn't get it off. This will now kill the Rek'Sai, so this is another throw happening by blue team. And meanwhile, Lucian was top lane getting a bit of free farm, extending, well, actually equaling the farm between the AD carries. Pretty good game, though. Right, so next play that will probably decide the game. It's either like Dragon, everyone respawns, let's all go to Dragon, big team fight. Because, with the game right now, either team in one big team fight can more or less end the game. Because on red team, you've got a lot of tankiness that and decent damage for towers. So you've got Volibear and Braum that can tank towers really well. So Lucian can free hit it. Blue team have a lot less tankiness for towers, but they've actually got a lot more tower damage with Draven, but also Echo with that build. So it's an interesting concept. So whatever team wins the next team fight arguably can more or less end the game. So Echo coming in, trying to get to the Lucian, might be getting himself caught. Echo, Righteous Glory coming by Volibear. Echo has to use his ultimate. Not at a good time, by the way, because he doesn't like using his ultimate without getting the regen from it, because that's half the value of the ultimate. Vladimir gets an ult in the back line. Echo will probably go down. Volibear on the thingy. Its carries right now for red team are completely safe. Look at how safe the carries are right behind the Braum and the Volibear. Zoe doing a bit of damage, but it hits the Volibear. Who cares? He wants to get hit at this stage. Rek'Sai will get the kill on the Pantheon. Lucian in the back line, though, has not been focused at all. Volibear is going to chase down the Rek'Sai. Probably not going to get to it. Zoe will go down, and Lucian ends the fight at full health. So this is like we mentioned. Meanwhile, Echo, because he knows like the game is probably going to end, Volibear going to go back and stop this. The Lucian was completely safe the whole fight. So Echo right now, this is a really desperate, oh my god, we're going to lose. Let me just try and distract them. And just try to end the game. Because yes, Echo could definitely kill that very quickly. And he could probably end the Nexus pretty quick too. Don't think the game will end here. Echo's backed off, so now these two have to be careful. They will get the inhibitor, which is good. And that evens up the inhibitors, while this one obviously is still broken. If these two get out, overall a good thing for red team. But obviously the gold lead right now is very close. Only a couple thousand gold at 33 minutes. That's a very close game. That's spread amongst 5 champions with all different items. That's hardly anything. But even though the kills are quite more considerable for red team. So, moving into the mid-late game. All red team has to do is do that again. Just have the tanks completely stand in the way that a Draven can't directly attack the Lucian. Have the Braum in the way, have the Volibear in the way, and I don't see red team losing. Now, the Echo, I will say, blue team, depending what the outcome is, I think the Echo could have definitely done more this game to make blue team win. He's been split pushing too much. He is such a big teamfight presence that in some of these instances, that if Echo was there, they might have completely aced the team, but he's been so focused on split pushing that I think that's actually hurt his team overall. Right, so the red team is respawning inhibitor there in 10 seconds. They are going to now group, roughly. Echo might again make his way down in split pushing, which again, I do think is a relative mistake. So the moment that we might see is a Drowsy on Lucian, but they're standing in the way. The moment that you see Echo not with his team, engage is going to happen. Volibear goes all in. Just to point it out, there is no Echo. He is now late to the fight. He is not relevant because he wasn't with his team. 3 people die. Echo has still done nothing, and that will be the game. So in this whole time, this dude did nothing because I guess he was looking for split push, and then he kind of was like, oh god, I got to help them again. He's now teleporting into the enemy base. Rek'Sai is going to get caught out. Volibear is just stopping the Echo, by the way. And overall, that is a pretty good play by the red team. And yeah, really nice. So how did the Volibear facilitate this win? Yes, he wasn't the carry. He got in the way of the enemy carries. He did some really nice engages. He annoyed the Echo there at the end, even though it was kind of more Echo's mistake. So overall, a really clean play by Volibear, which I do think highlights that, you know, yes, he wasn't a carry, but he can still background carry. Ow. And as for the end gold, he was on 15-7, 13-6, so he's 2,000 gold ahead in a game that, you know, it's about a 5,000 gold lead. So he's a lot of that lead right now just in there. Like, the Draven ended the game ahead of the Lucian. Look at the KD difference. Like, Lucian is doing okay. Draven's obviously dying a lot more. Farm is in the Lucian's lead, but Draven has more gold. Why? Because obviously he's passive. So overall, a really nice game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know the feedback in the comments. Do you prefer a closer game like this, or do you prefer the stomp style? I'd love to know. But if you can do me a massive favor, throw a like on it, throw a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.